the Introvert Conversation, where we're not loud but proud to be who we are and make no excuses for it. In today's video, I am responding to a subscriber that would like me to provide some feedback and some suggestions on how to conduct yourself during an interview. Because as an introvert, oftentimes our body language and oftentimes the way that we make direct eye contact, we come off as mean, we come off as bougie, we come off as disinterested. Sometimes we even come off as nonchalant. So I want to do a little bit of a role play on how I would conduct myself during an interview. And thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoy. So for starters, the way that I am dressed and the makeup that I have on, even down to my hair color, I most likely would not look like this during a job interview. Unfortunately, in our society, we have certain norms. So you want to dress very much so professional. You probably don't want to have as much jewelry that I have on. You really want to tone it down a notch. That is my suggestion. I'm not saying that you should do that, but a lot of times the person that is interviewing you, they're just coming off of the first impression. So all of this probably would be too much, even down to the lashes. It does would be too much. So if I were to sit in for an interview, I would tone down my look completely. The only thing that I would probably still have is just maybe none of it. Yeah, none of it. So as an introvert, you want to focus on your body language. You want to give off that you're professional, that you're interested, but you want to make sure that you're sitting up straight. Maybe your hands are folded, or maybe your hands are laying to one on top of the other, but you want to give off that you're focused, that you're professional, but you also want to give off a relaxed and friendly demeanor, okay? Because introverts tend to look mean, or sometimes we're looking like this, you know, or we're just a little bit too uptight. So you don't want to be tense. You want to be calm, relaxed, but it's important to look friendly. And it's okay to smile. You're not laughing, you're not a giggling mess, but you're giving off vibes that, hey, you know, I would be a good fit for this particular job position, okay? Oh yes, I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. I have my bachelor's degree in sociology. I have my master's degree in gerontology counseling. I have always been the type of person that people come to because I'm a great listener. I provide compassion and empathy. It has always been my life stream to be of service to others, to help others in need. That is a dream and a goal that I have always had. And yeah, that's a little bit about myself. So the education and experience that I bring to this job position is that I have experience with volunteering at local hospitals in my area, and also with volunteering at shelters with individuals in need of emergency housing. With that experience, I've learned so much, because it's one thing to read something in a book, but it's another thing to really have your boots on the ground with the people. And what they have given me is lifelong lessons that I can be able to pass on to others with this job position. And these are things that I will always cherish, because I feel it's important that we can learn from everybody. It's not about your educational background. It's about helping one another, and it's about passing along helpful information, and again, being of service to others. I would handle a difficult or stressful situation by, number one, remaining calm. It's important to remain calm so that you are not so caught up in your emotions that you say things that you don't mean, that it becomes a situation that becomes very uncomfortable, or even something that could come as confrontational. So it's important to remain calm. I also believe that if you do have a disagreement with a coworker or dealing with a very stressful situation, it's important that everyone is heard It's not about shouting or talking all over each other. It's about, let me hear your point of view and I remain quiet. You hear my point of view and you remain quiet. So that way everyone is seen and everyone is heard. Again, it's not about being right. It's about coming together to resolve the issue in a very respectful and peaceful manner. So again, how I would handle a situation that was stressful or a situation that involved conflict, it's all about remaining calm and being sure that everyone is seen and that everyone is heard. So in conclusion, you're thanking the interviewers for their time. Either if it was a Zoom interview or either in person, you're shaking hands, and again, you're saying thank you. And they may say, well, do you have any questions? And the questions that you have, usually we don't have questions because we're bombarded with so much information. But if you do have questions, you want to make sure that the questions are not very that you're not putting the interviewers on the spot too much, because then it becomes very awkward. And you just want to make sure that you're just a good candidate. So usually when they say, do you have any questions, I usually just say no, and that if I do have anything, that I would email and I would contact. Who do I contact if I, were to have any questions, further down the line. But other than that, I think that you'll do fine. Again, it's all about being professional and, being professional, but friendly and relaxed demeanor. You don't want to look mean, and you don't want to have one-word responses like yes, no. You want to be able to talk freely for like 30 seconds straight. I'm serious, because you want them to know that you have a lot of, that you're an interesting person, that you bring a lot to the table, and they would be more than that. They would have to have you. They would have to hire you. But good luck. Again, there's always other ways to go around it. But I just want to keep hitting home that you have to be drawn in by your eyes, being friendly, being pleasant, and not doing too much. You don't have to overcompensate. You don't have to overshare. But you have to make sure that the responses are not just these quick responses, and that you're not looking down, that you're not looking unsure, uncomfortable, that you are in tune and focused and friendly. And you got this. Good luck.